Okay, I will go on to the next topic, so sustainability and food options. So these are the food waste startups that we have in the US, and there are a lot. The good news is now we have some startups of doing solutions for the food waste in Japan as well. So as you may know, we have an act right now to reduce the food waste, and people more have awareness. We really have to do something about the food waste. And for example, Tabete is an app. So the restaurants, so imagine this occasion, they have the last minute cancellation. So, but they still have food. So they upload what kind of food they can still provide to the neighborhood. So the users of this app can see what kind of food are available around you. And then they can rescue the food in the restaurant. So these are very getting popular, especially for the local government is paying attention to these services like Kamakura and Kanazawa. And I would like to point out this alternative protein part. And we haven't seen so much in Japan yet, but actually this is a really big, this change is happening right now. So anybody have heard alternative protein,
Daitai protein.
Beyond Meat, Impossible Food? Okay. If you don't know, that's okay, because we don't have it in Japan now. Yeah. So these are the things like, it's the meat-like stuff, but made by not meat. It's made by soy, or made by pea, made by many plants, or we have the part lab-grown meat. So pick the cell from the animal and will grow like an animal. So there are many ways to make an alternative protein. But the point is, there's so many startups right now, and so many funding the venture capitalists and stuff. So this was the 2018 January, and 1 year later, it became like this. So it's amazing. Why? I think the Hiro explained earlier. So one is eating animals. So if you think about it, that's really a lot of the cost for the planet. So you have to grow the cow for like maybe 3 or 4 years so that we can eat. So they eat a lot. They produce CO2, a lot of stuff. So that's a sustainability point of view. We cannot feed all of the people on the planet with the meat. So we really have to do something. And especially American people, they don't want to give up the meat. They need hamburger, for sure. So that's why we have many startups in this space. Yeah, grown plant-based ingredients, etc. And these are even the lab-grown meat. It's more scientific, meat-like meat. I think it's meat, and there are a lot. And now it's very expensive. It's still an R&D phase, but very soon we can eat these products. Yeah, it's already in the market. It's not the lab-grown; it's a plant-based one. So even McDonald's or KFC. You see the PLT, P means the plant, not the bacon. So this is already happening. I've eaten one in where Seattle 2 weeks ago. You really cannot distinguish from the real meat and also kind of plant-based. Yeah.
Okay. So, and also one of the hot topic is how we can revolutionize restaurant. So one hot topic is food robot. So what is food robot? So when we imagine, so food robot is all about how we can replace people on the back end. But it's true, but it's not only the value of food robot. So the real value we believe is more like a revenue generator. So to create a new value for users. What kind of value I will explain. Okay, this is a typical food robot on the back end, right? And then, okay, you get the post data and then you generate a hamburger automatically. Okay, right, this is great, this is important. But what we see very interesting is this one. This is a smart vending machine, so but still it can be called robot. But okay, now you have a cartridge of the vegetables, and then you can have 1,000 type of salads from this vending machine. That's amazing, right? And then imagine at the CVS convenience stores, so you can, okay, select maybe 10 salads. Okay, great, but it's not my favorite. Okay, let's give up. So, but this machine can provide you wider choices, mostly unlimited choices. And also, so by having an interface through tablet, so it can provide more better like a selection potential. It can provide you some cross-selling opportunity and so on. And then also this is a Cafe X, but this is actually the coffee making machine. But actually the real essential point is the interface of the ordering. How many people understand how many type of coffee Starbucks can provide? Do you have any ideas? How many types of coffees? It's about more than 60,000 coffees available at Starbucks, but nobody knows about it. But by having a, for example, smart tablet as an interface, okay, you can select the base coffee, and then volume was a hour, and then volume is sugar type, and then some like a taste syrup for volume. By having that kind of selection, so you can provide, you can make a choice visible to the consumer. So this is the beauty of the food robot. And also this is the bread baking machine. So for retailers, right? So bread baked at factory is somehow scared and then not transparent. I don't know what is inside, how it is delivered, what kind of preservatives are added on. But by having the production on site, it will provide some safetiness or transparency, or also entertaining. So this is the beauty of food robot. And then this is a very famous hamburger making robot, which is called Creator. So you can go to this restaurant in San Francisco. So the beauty of this machine is it's really tasty and then relatively cost effective. Then why? So actually this is produced by Michelin star chef. So this is a very unique trend that chef is helping startups to make better foods. This is a very unique point of food robot. And then almost we are close. And then if we think about the food innovation, the important thing is the evolution of recipes. So version 1 is the digitalization, cookpad. Version 2, movie, the classic. Version 3, what's that? It's software. So recipe now can control devices. So this is a smart scale, which is called Part3 company. So helping people to make the precise cocktail, but it's connected to the internet. So therefore, by doing that, you can have that information. So how many cocktails, what kind of drinks are drunk, in what region, when, how. And then also this is a sous vide. It's a low temperature slow cooker machine. In Japan we have some, but it's not connected. But once it is connected, what you can see is this one. What kind of food are eaten, when, and how. This is not only the great because it can have some prediction of what product is going to be sold, when, but also it can tell you how many proteins you took. Because in order to cook precisely, you have to add some like grams, and then so volume of the meat. By having that, the app can tell others, okay, I ate 200 grams of beef Sunday. So by having that information, so app can tell us what is intake you have taken over the last 2 weeks or so. By having such information, probably so these players can provide better consultation for food. Then as you can see, so more and more data are being accumulated these days. So nowadays, so unfortunately, each data is actually split across ventures. But now there are movements so consolidating data. So we see that probably in the near future, so better service is emerging. So I don't have time, therefore I don't want to go detail. But this is actually the box device, which integrates all the components and then it collects all the data of cooking. I just want to show just one part of the movie. Okay, 7 functional appliances. Next, please take a look. Okay, they have the bacon. Then when insert, they recognize bacon and the potatoes. And then it connects to the internet. So by having that, so this machine is no longer a standalone microwave oven, but also a connected device which identifies what you eat and how. And the great point is, after cooking, if you are not satisfied, you can provide some unsatisfied button. And then it automatically connects to the customer support. And then they access to them, what's wrong? What is the point you are not satisfied? So this company is organized by just 50 people, but they understand everything about the users. Who is using it? How is it used? What is the function? So in the near future, consumer wants. That's amazing, right? So this is happening. This is exactly the presentation we saw 2 weeks ago at SKS, North America. So this is the reality. And also this is a DrinkWorks, which is a joint venture with Anheuser InBev, and also Keurig, it's a coffee making machine. So they all have this is cocktail machine. They have all the information. And then after analyzing all the information, they recognize people drink cocktail at a brunch time on the weekend. Then they start, okay, let's create a brunch cocktail, which has never imagined before having the data. That's really amazing. And also they leverage user data to design their hardware. So this is actually happening in North America and Europe. And then lastly, so services are emerging. So previously food and the appliance are separate. But now if you buy food, so meal kit service is come with you. So hardware is no longer standalone devices, but also it's a sort of like a pathway to reach to the customer from food manufacturer point of view. So like that, many innovations happening. So I skip it. So the last page I want to show is okay. Underlying trend is that the visualization of human and at-home info is happening, and then it's on data to data. So by having that information previously from producer value chain, so manufacturers ended up with retailers or restaurants. But now, so we have more data about people or at home. Then now what is happening is upstream players collaborating with appliance players. So now home and people are approachable. You imagine the long tail chart that on the right hand side is now approachable. So this is happening about food innovation, which enhanced by tech and science. Thank you very much for listening.
Since we heard so much about food, it's about time to hit the food.
Yes.
So let's try to go and get the plates and food, and then we'll have a little bit of a small group discussion. I could ask you what interested you most in this presentation, and you can share that with your group. And if you want to call Hiro or Akiko-san, you can call them and ask you some questions. That would be one way of doing it. And another is that you might want to reflect your own food pattern, food behavior. And what are the kind of things that you can improve, judging from what we have seen. Because it seems like that there's lots and lots of things that are available. And one of the key words, as I see it, is connected. So it's not alone. You're not alone. You're connected to a lot of things. So if you have certain things that you would like to improve, you can ask for the information and get some advices and suggestions, and you can build a community. So that would be another topic.
Vol.13 SINCA